Just talk about
Take the green mic.
Yeah, sure.
Contractually obligated to take the green mic.
Not anymore.
Okay. Is it? I mean, not to start on that note, but yeah, is it feel weird that that's such a character that's been such a long part of your life, and now we've laid that to rest? Is it?
I mean, not.
How do we feel about it?
Fine.
Fine. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's nice to be able to go back to work and do something. It was weird because it's been basically 2 years since we wrapped the actual production. So it was weird because I was about to go do something else, and then I, along with everyone else, did nothing for a while.
Okay.
So that was strange, but I've gone back to work now, so
Yeah.
it feels normal.
Yeah, back on. I love you on Heels, which is cool because it's
Thank
such a physical role for you. Coming from Arrow, which is again another massively physical role. Was it still challenging for you? Were you able to bring over anything from Arrow, or is it like a whole nother type of workout?
Yeah, I was able to bring over being 8 or 9 years older.
Okay.
So no, it was really physically challenging, but in a different sort of way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta, for my next role, I gotta be like one of the patients in treatment or something, and just sit in an office, do nothing, just talk for 75 minutes.
It would be nice to take a break. We're talking before. I think last time we all saw each other was on set here in Toronto for Code 8, which is an amazing project that I still use as an example, talking to people about the power of fans and how they can influence the work, which is so cool. Which I guess for people who don't really know the story, could we kind of go over that really quick of how this passion project came to be? And I know we are working on a sequel currently.
Yeah, we started shooting the sequel on Monday, just a few days ago. The first one, we shot a short film. Steve and I wanted to work together, and we wanted to work with our friend Jeff, who directed it. We shot a short film. We went to Indiegogo. We raised a boatload of money selling hoodies and T-shirts and premiere passes, and we got to make a movie with like 30,000 people, which was really, really, really cool.
It's awesome that we can, you guys did all this, which is so cool. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And Code 8 too, I heard we don't have official title because there's a number in the title with Code 8.
It's just Code 8 Part 2.
Okay. Because Code 8-2...
You can't make Code 9.
Okay.
It's just Code 8 Part 2. It's way easier.
Is that what it's actually going to be?
I mean, as of right now, yeah.
Okay.
Code 8 Part 2.
Code 8 squared.
Now, of course, it's no surprise that you guys, share a last name, share a bloodline, and now growing up, were you guys this close, or did kind of your career paths bring you a little closer, or were you guys always, I know cousins, but some people aren't always that close with their cousins, or were you guys always kind of really tight growing up, and then this just kind of kept you together? How did it work?
Tight growing up, but then I'm 7 years older.
Okay.
So
Older.
Really pushing the age thing.
No, I'm just saying that it's one thing. It's one thing when I'm 13 and he's 6. We're not doing that much stuff together. But then it's career pushes back together because now now we play the same age on screen, and it's.
Steve's house was my first ever sleepover. And I had to get picked up because I needed to go home. I was just too scared to stay the night. I was like 3 or something. Yeah. But we were really, really close when we were young. And then, like Steve said, that age gap was just kind of weird. And then we both got into acting at the same time, not even knowing the other one was doing it. And we saw each other at a family dinner, and we started talking about it. And then Steve stayed at my place in L.A., for a little bit, and we just fell right back into being, family and friends again.
It's got to be cool to have really a true ally in this industry too, because I think it's you don't really know. Sometimes it can be very superficial, and who to trust or who's really your friend. But I guess it's got to be really helpful to have actually a family member going through this journey with you, and someone you can really truly rely on.
100%. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I didn't actually think about it that way, but Rob and I can bounce things off one another, and I mean, even getting down to like, he was the one that told me to go audition for Arrow. He was, make sure you go audition for Arrow, because my agents are pushing me for it, and I think it's for you.
Yeah,
So,
I read it and I was like, I pictured you.
So yeah, so it is. It's really nice. I can bounce stuff off Rob. He can bounce stuff off me. You know, we're doing the same thing in the industry, but we have different agents and, you know, a different approach to the same sort of end goal, I think. So I get little inspirations from him, and maybe he does from me. It's good.
I remember when Steve and I had LA King season tickets in LA, and we would always subway down from the Kodak Center to the game, which was like maybe like a half an hour, 40 minutes. And that was the most time that, you know, the subway there, the watch the game, the come back, it was normally just the two of us. And that was, you know, those are conversations that were about everything, but a lot of times we talked about the business and what was going on, and I'll remember those forever. Those were, you know, we were both kind of just starting out in LA, and those were pretty important to me.
Yeah, it's got to be super cool, because I know even sometimes you have friends in the industry, and a lot of times they're out for the same roles that you may be out for. So you're sometimes talking to a friend, and they go and call their agent, and they're like, "Hey, I just heard about this role."
Yeah, and that's where the age gap is actually helpful, because we weren't going out for the same things, and you know, Rob had was just getting a lot more jobs in the early part of our career than I was, and I just remember going to him like, "How do you go get these jobs?" And you introduced me to like an audition coach, right? And just I don't know, just different techniques, but really like it is a very good point. There's not a lot of people in the industry, because everyone really is after the same thing at the end of the day, that you can bounce something off them and just know that they're going to give you an honest answer back. It's not like everyone's out to get each other.
No, but,
Well, it's LA.
It's highly competitive. It's very, very competitive. And are you a fan of, you know, each other's work? Do you guys watch each other's projects as well? Because I know, speaking of, you know, you specifically, what we got going on next with Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. People are very excited about this.
Me too.
Chris Redfield, this is amazing.
Thank you.
Are you, which we shot again, I guess, here in Ontario.
Yeah, Sudbury and Hamilton, where we're shooting right now.
What can we say about, not much, I guess.
I can't tell you much. What I can tell you is that I grew up loving the Resident Evil games. One of my earliest video game memories are the dogs jumping through the window and scaring the hell out of me. I've played through all of them. I'm a huge gamer, and nothing against the first set of movies. I'm a big fan of the movies. I think Mila Jovovich is awesome. I think the movies are really cool. Welcome to Raccoon City is just a little more of a true adaptation of the video games. It's based off of 1 and 2. You've got the mansion, you've got the police station, you've got some really, really great, not even Easter eggs, just things from the games that if you played the games, you know, and if you didn't play the games, it's a very, you know, fun horror zombie movie. It's a little more horror movie than sci-fi action like the other ones were, but it's a blast. I'm super proud of it. I think people really dig it. As far as, you know, liking each other's work, is some of my favorite memories in LA were we got to watch the Arrow premiere. Yeah. Steve brought it over to my house, and a group of us sat around and watched it. And that one is only second place to his CSI episode. He came over, and a bunch of us were watching his episode of CSI. Spoiler alert: he gets hit by a bus or a truck. A truck. And he didn't tell any of us this, and it happens right at the end of the episode, and everybody was just like, "Whoa, what?" Like, it was so great, and it's one of my favorite moments of watching anybody's work. But it's fun. It's fun to get to watch, you know, a friend, a family member, and see them in a different light, and be proud of them and excited for them.
Do you like call each other, like when you know booked Resident Evil? Did you call Stephen and be like, I got this, and then you guys have a little celebration? How does that work out? You guys have like mail each other like edible arrangements?
I think we normally kind of celebrate in person when we see each other. Like,
cool.
We catch up on those things, and other than that, we text in our like fantasy football chat. And
Yeah. If I were to be texting Robbie every time he booked a job,
Yeah, it's
it's
true.
Jesus.
I know. It's a good problem to have, though.
Yeah.
It's a good problem to have. the Resident Evil last question I had is if they're going to stay true to the games, are they going to shoot it in the way where like the camera doesn't move and there's all these blind corners and it just causes a hell of a lot of stress for everybody?
You know, the kind of surveillance looking.
Yeah, and then you don't know what's around the corner because the camera hasn't moved.
There's nods to the games for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what scared me more than the dogs was the fact that you couldn't see around the corner until you walked far enough.
There's some jump scares for sure. The director was my first meeting with him. We talked about the games for an hour. He's a big fan of the games.
Cool.
And yeah.
Amazing. And a lot of fans here today, and we have some questions that we're going to get to you guys in 1 second. If you guys can think of some good questions, we're going to do like a hands-up situation. But before we throw to audience, I know during the pandemic, people were on lockdown. People picked up new hobbies. People started knitting, quilting, working out. What was it for you? Did you do anything exciting? Did you start building puzzles? What kept you busy?
I started wearing short shorts.
Okay.
That was it. I was bored. I just wanted to get back to work.
Short shorts. Showing off the legs. Okay. Did you do anything cool?
I had a son September of 2019, so that was like, thank you. He's awesome. But like, that's been my COVID kind of just having a baby. So
it's a great time to be kind of all
it was nice.
away.
It was like we were forced to be at home and we didn't have to worry about like passing up on work to be there with him. But that was my COVID has been dad time.
When he grows up, he'd be like, Dad, I really appreciate you staying around for that time.
Like, yeah,
life.
of course.
He'd be
for
like,
sure.
Definitely because of you.
All for you.
All right, so we saw some hands. Let's get over to, I know you're one of the first people with your hand up, so let's start right in the front. Go ahead. What is your question?
I have a question for both of you, actually. My question for Robbie is, what was it like working on the Scooby-Doo movie? And my question for Stephen is, which was your favorite crossover to film in the Arrow universe? I know there was a bunch, but... And I love you both, by the way. You're awesome.
Thank you. Scooby-Doo was really fun. It was one of my first real jobs that I booked. It was just like, playing an iconic character, somebody who has been around for so long and there's been so many iterations of. It was just, it was one of the first, like, acting kind of felt real. I was doing something where if somebody's like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm in the Scooby-Doo movie. Like, they knew what Scooby-Doo was. It wasn't just something that nobody had heard of and maybe would never see. So it was really special. The cast was really great. The director was just a blast, and he had done the Flintstones movies, so he knew his way around, like, adapting an old kids genre. And I just had a blast. It was a lot of fun.
I liked when Barry and Oliver swapped identities. That was really fun. I liked wearing the Flash suit. It almost fit after a couple of weeks too.
Okay, I saw another question on this side actually. Let's jump around. Or are you the only mic runner, by the way? Let's do it in an orderly fashion. Sorry, I thought we had a couple people.
Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil right there.
That is a great Dr. Evil.
Hi to both of you guys. Great to see you here in Toronto, here at Fan Expo. It's kind of a two-parter question. What has been the most valuable role to each of you? And you know it's coming, but what has been your favorite part of being within the Arrow universe?
Well, I mean, the most valuable role for me, career-wise, was playing Oliver Queen, I think, and just the most valuable part about being in the universe is any time that you can be like a caretaker or an ambassador for a role that's been played before you, that's going to be played after you, and that people have a personal connection to. I mean, Green Arrow's been around since the early 1940s, and before there was an Arrow show, before he appeared on Smallville, there were people that were very big fans of the Green Arrow. So to embody that and to be a part of their experience is one of the reasons why I like coming to stuff like this, because you get to meet people and you get to hear about those experiences and just being an ambassador. It's very cool.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a really good answer. I don't have to add much
Good.
to that. As far as roles, I think it was more of like a time frame than a role. I think that Tomorrow People was really important to me, and it was I learned a ton, and getting to be in Vancouver while Steve was shooting season 2 or 3, and getting to kind of learn from him and pick his brain, and just, it was like acting boot camp. Like, it was, 22 episodes a year is a long time, and Monday to Friday, and the idea of being, somebody who is the lead of a show, you learn a ton that is on screen and also off screen. And then going right from that into a movie I did called The DUFF, which was with Mae Whitman, and just, thank you. That was like, that was just kind of a different, a totally different project, and something that opened other doors for me, and just something that was a total blast to work with her.
Not that I have any insider information, but speaking of the Duff, the reason that you accepted the role, did it have to do with an influence of any other particular person that may be in this?
Yeah,
building?
I got this script sent to me, and the character was such just an unapologetic douche, and I had a lot of problems with it, and I was like, this is, on paper, I was like, this guy, this character's been on screen so many times, and he just kind of sucks. It's very one-dimensional. And I had a meeting with the director, and he was like, look, there's going to be a rewrite. We're going to be able to make some adjustments. And Italia read it, and she was like, you have to do this movie. She's like, you can't possibly say no. And it's not like it was offered to me. It was just something that I was just meeting on. And once they got Mae Whitman, I was also like, okay, well, if she's going to do this, then, she obviously sees something in it. But Italia was right. It's her genre. She knew what she was talking about, and she's such a huge fan of She's All That, which is, a big inspiration for that movie. So listen to your wife.
There you go. And how's the toe, by the way?
Yeah, I have an ugly ass toe. I know she told you to talk to me about my toe. Thanks, Italia.
Why is it ugly? What makes a toe ugly? Like, what is the deal?
Okay, so like, say this is a foot.
Okay.
Okay, so this toe goes under there like that.
Oh. Were you like a ballerina at one point in your life? How did that get all squished up like
My dad used to come, if I was laying on the couch, he'd come over and he would flip it over top of the other toe, because I can't flip it myself. I have to stand up to... Anyway, I went to get it fixed, and they were like, well, you're going to have to break it and snap it, and a pin is going in it, and you can't walk for a month. And I was like, never mind, it's curved, it's fine.
Do you have, if that was to come up on camera, do you have a foot double at that point? Or?
Oh, no, it's out there.
Mine are perfect.
Thank you. Good. You guys are learning so much today to take home to your families and friends. It's great. Okay, so we'll organize the questions. We'll kind of sweep across to save our poor mic runner from running back and forth. So we had another question. Yeah, Batman hat right at the back there. He's got running shoes on. Oh, we got run. Okay, well we can. Yeah, let's make him work then.
There you go. So I got to see Stephen 8-9 years ago when you were here for the premiere of Arrow. My son and I were ones with the sticker under the seat, got you guys to sign the poster, stuff like that. You really made a name for yourself there. Now you're doing everything from wine and social media to the shows and everything else. What would you say is the biggest difference between the Stephen Amell that was here those 9 years ago and the guy on the stage now?
I mean, aside from the time, I've actually tried not to be that different at all. I'm so appreciative of being able to work. One of the things about finishing up on Arrow, which was a decision that we came to collectively, is having a bit of space from it gives me a little bit of appreciation for it. I think when you're going through something like this, it's sometimes a little difficult to see the forest for the trees. Forest for the trees, from the trees. 6 of 1. So I've just tried to stay the same. But between now and then, I've probably gotten to meet like 1 million people, I feel like, and just a lot more life experiences, a lot easier set of priorities right now. My family and my kiddo, and just I don't know, just same sort of guy, a lot more appreciation. Hopefully, not a dick. That's it.
Hopefully
Yeah,
not
that
a
was
dick.
here. That was at Fan Expo. That was August-ish of 2012.
You guys premiered the show at Fan Expo?
So the show, the show hadn't premiered yet, and we showed the pilot episode here, and then me, Colin Donnell, Willa Holland, and Katie Cassidy were just signing some autographs, and I think we had filmed maybe 6 or 7 episodes of the show.
Well, I think we're going to add "hopefully not a dick" to your banner. That'd be great.
Yeah, spelt D-I-K.
Hopefully not a dick.
For the kids.
Yeah.
Now, the last episode, when you wrap up this character, do you just back your car up and open the trunk to like wardrobe and props, and you just load it?
We were talking about
Like
this.
what
We were
happens?
talking about this the other day. So over 8 years on Arrow, I probably went through 6, 7, 8 suits a year, let's say conservatively. Even if I didn't, they always have doubles and redundancies in case they've got to rip it or score it or any of these things. So let's say conservatively 8 Arrow suits a year, and then let's say another 4 stunt suits, even though there should have been 4 suits for me and 8 suits for stunts, just because of how they go through stuff. So let's say 12 a year, 12 times 8, 96. 96? It's like 96 Arrow suits. Easily. 96 Arrow suits. I took a couple and like gave them away, but I got in touch with Warner Brothers and I asked for a suit. No. I was like, really? Like, what do you mean? Like, I'll take a stunt suit. I'll take one of the suits that I don't like. Like, seriously, can I have a suit? And they're like, no, because when a show ends, they bag everything, they categorize it, and they put it in some warehouse somewhere in Burbank, California. And once it's been like taken into stock, I don't know.
I know. I tried to get on. There was on the Shazam set sale, and same thing. WB took everything and like hauled it away, gone.
You know what
Walked
you
away.
do? You go back for one crossover.
Yeah.
And you just take it.
Don't even go.
You wrap and you say, thanks. See you later.
Just walk out in the suit. Yeah, maybe.
I think that's a great idea. I think we should work on that.
Both of my stunt doubles, both Will and Simon, I had 2 doubles over 8 years. Both of them have a suit. Gosh, darn it.
Sorry for bringing that up. That's okay. Okay. Let's okay, right in front of you there. I mean, you can at this point you can just pick somebody. Yeah, sure.
Oh, sorry. Hey there. I was just wondering if you were ever to do a theatrical version of Green Arrow. Like, if Warner Brothers was to make it, I mean, would you be interested in coming back and doing that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, look, I played it for 8 years. We were ready to be done. We're ready to be done the show. Like, as Rob was saying earlier, 22, 23 episodes a year. It can get a little taxing. But that doesn't mean that there's not places to go and things to try with the character. I mean, I think, especially with all of the streaming platforms and stuff like that, if we were to ever do something, just for God's sakes, can it be rated R, please? You know, we would have a policy on the Arrow set, like, I'd be allowed to break a guy's neck, but no blood. It's one of those weird things. So yeah, I mean, having a little distance from the character, I miss playing a little bit, but you know, who knows? I'm busy with other stuff at the moment.
Okay. Now, just so I don't get in trouble after for only favoring one side of the room, let's move over this way a little bit because we have like 15 minutes left, and then we'll just dealer's choice, whatever you feel is. I mean, some of the green right here. Okay.
Hi. A quick question for Stephen. If the opportunity came up, would you return as the Arrow in any form of media, whether it's voice acting or actually acting him on screen or television?
Yeah, sure. Still, I mean, why not? There have been no opportunities. I mean, they're doing crossovers. I think, like I saw a preview for one that they're doing now on Flash, and I've no idea. I'm so far removed. It's a weird thing. It's like I focus on what I'm working on, and But yeah, we'll see.
Let's talk opportunities you wouldn't return to the role. Kids' birthday parties.
Oh,
Depends
Of
whose
course I would do
birthday.
it for a kid's birthday party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Panhandling in Times Square. Would you do it?
No.
Okay.
Once.
No.
What? I think it'd be
I
fun.
ordered I don't know if it came. I think it might got lost somewhere. I was telling Rob, I ordered a like an old school vintage Green Arrow costume for Halloween that I'm going to wear to embarrass my kid, but it hasn't shown up yet. So
We gotta hope that gets there. That would be amazing. Okay, let's jump up to this. There's a guy in the front. Yeah, right. You took your green hoodie off. Now I'm no. Okay, there we go. Okay, you are still wearing an Arrow shirt. We can't kick you out then.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to ask what it was like when you filmed Crisis of Earth X. What it was like to switch between good and evil Arrow.
fun. You know, I've got to really be careful talking about how much I enjoyed a character that, you know, was a Nazi. But no, that was really fun. All the crossovers that we did were cool. And you know, if you're a comic book fan, whether it's Crisis on Earth X, Crisis on Infinite Earths, Elseworlds, all these things were things that if you're a fan of television, you enjoy. So we would enjoy the final products, and you know, doing them was a real treat.
A real treat. Okay, where's my mic, fella? All right, there you're over there now. Why don't you just? Okay, I mean, Superman's got a question. Great.
Hey, first, there's an end of an era to see the Arrow show end, so thank you for that. It was really awesome. I know that you're doing heels now, and you've been a big wrestling fan your entire life. When you were a kid growing up, were you a bigger fan of heels, or were you a bigger fan of the face of the franchise type? And can you name your favorite wrestler?
I mean, growing up, I didn't realize I was a fan of the bad guys as much as I probably was. I liked Rowdy Piper. I liked Mr. Perfect. Liked the Macho Man. Who'd you like?
The Rock.
Okay, yeah, there's the age gap. But yeah, I mean, listen, the heels, the bad guys in wrestling, right? I say it in the first episode, but it's actually true. Like, people only like the good guys as much as they hate the bad. Like, even in a wrestling ring, the bad guy is the heel is the one that calls the entire match, right? Because they're the ones that control the crowd. They're the ones that have all the powers. The good guys, they just smile. That's all.
As a wrestling fan, you must have had a name picked out for your inevitable future wrestling career. Did you have like a persona as a kid?
No, I just wanted to go by Stephen Amell.
Oh, okay. I feel like we could have done something better than that a little bit. Okay, let's go. These guys in the front here. Yeah, let's.
We've heard John Barrowman has been a fan of playing pranks. Did he ever prank you on Arrow?
So does John Barrowman, did he ever prank me on Arrow? No. I hear about this all the time. I hear about him like pranking people. But I don't know. He's just, John would just have random, like, he would get super caffeinated at like 1 o'clock in the morning when everyone was slowing down. He would be speeding up. But no, he never really pranked me. Maybe he was scared of me. I don't know.
All right, well, let's go right beside you there. What is your question? We'll talk in the mic so we can all hear the question. Go ahead.
This is kind of for Robbie. My husband and I watched Upload during the pandemic, and my husband we like the same things, but he's also very critical of things. This was one thing he absolutely loved.
Oh, great.
And
It's like, this is going.
No, like
It's
my
going in a
husband's
bad direction.
tolerance for like the Marvel and DC movies is like nil because he does not like CGI. So what was it like doing Upload? Because I'm a big fan of Greg Daniels as well.
Me too.
And I think he's just brilliant with
Me
a lot
too.
of his things. And we just loved you, and we loved the whole concept of Upload.
Thank you.
What
We
was
just
that
finished
like?
season 2.
Good.
Thanks. Yeah. It'll come out in February-ish. COVID has just slowed everything down, which kind of sucks, but we were very lucky to shoot and get a second season done. Italia and I binge watched it the other day. They sent me the 7 episodes, and it's fun to be a fan of your own thing, and not to say I'm a fan of myself, but like the cast makes me laugh really hard. I think Kevin is hysterical, Zaynab, Allegra, like everyone, Andy, they're all so charming and so funny. The second season is great. The first season was a blast to shoot. It was really weird. For me, it was a long audition process. I was the very first person to audition for the show. Greg had seen the DUFF with his daughter, and he just thought I would be right for it. And I went in and met with him, and we sat around and talked for an hour and a half, and I left. And as an actor, you never feel like you got the role. And I phoned my agents, and I was like, this is mine. I got this role. And then they phoned, and they're like, he loved you, but you were the first person, so you got to wait. And then like a month later, they brought me back in, and luckily I booked it. But it was a long process. We shot the pilot. Amazon had a full like changeover of who was in charge. So it went pilot in 2019, first season in 2020, second season 2021, and it'll finally, second season premiere in 2022. So it's been weird and a long process, but it's been a blast. Greg Daniels, who created the show, also created The Office and Parks and Recreation. He's a genius. He's so funny, but he's also just like no ego about him. I've been lucky. I've worked with really great Gregs. Greg Berlanti, who created Arrow and Flash and everything. He's the same sort of guy who is a genius and wildly successful, but is also just super down to earth and is there for you at the drop of a hat when you need him. But I think you'll really like season 2. If you liked season 1, I think you'll really like season 2. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Cool. Thanks so much. Now, let's put those runners to the test. We haven't got anybody in the back yet, so can we get to the very back? There's a guy, the pointing to himself, maybe. I mean, why not? There you go. The toque and the Roots long sleeve hoodie. Perfect. Yeah.
How's it going, guys?
Good, man. Hey.
I have a wrestling question for both of you. Stephen, you've been in the ring a few times already. I wanted to know what that experience was like being at big events like SummerSlam and All In. And for Robbie, I wanted to know if you wanted to ever be his tag team partner at any point.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not as big a fan of wrestling as Steve, but I definitely grew up on it. I've been to one live match in my life, and it was an exhibition match. And a lot of people don't know this, but you've got your televised matches and your exhibition matches, and anything can happen in the exhibition ones because there's no repercussions. Like anything televised has to continue with the story. So I went to Sky Dome when I was young, and the final match was The Rock versus Triple H versus Stone Cold. And it was spectacular. It was so good. And at the end of the match, all three of them just started smashing beers and shaking them into the audience. But that was a total highlight for me. It's really fun to watch Steve do what he does, just because I know what a dream come true that is for him, and you can see it when you watch it. But yeah, I would totally jump in the ring with Steve.
It's terrifying in the ring, man. The ring is so small. It looks big on TV. It's like anything, but then you're in the arena, or you actually get in the ring, and you can literally bound across it in 3 steps, and feel pretty naked out there. And I don't just mean like what you're wearing. I mean you're just very, very, very exposed. And if the arena is super loud, that's intimidating, but God forbid it's quiet. If it's quiet, it's really bad. Like I remember my first match, my match at SummerSlam. It's just a quiet moment in the match. I'm about to go in. I know that I'm about to get tagged in, and all I can hear is this guy, like he must have been 20 rows back, going, "This probably is a bad idea," like that, and I can just hear him, and everyone knows that I can hear him too. So it's scary.
Oh man, I wonder where that guy is now. That's awesome. Okay, let's can we go further back? The Flash shirt, and then we'll just like dealer's choice for the next couple. Whatever you guys think. It's so spread out. It's so tough to get to everybody.
That's actually kind of funny. I was at the same event, the WWE event that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Robbie.
Was it you?
It wasn't me. I was there.
Okay.
So I remember that three-way fight. That was hilarious.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was.
I think it was WWF back then still.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I remember that because you had the pre-matches as well, and then you had the televised, and yeah.
It was awesome.
That was cool. I wondered, when was it for you guys, when you start seeing the action figures and your faces on stuff, that you have your holy crap moment, that you've reached this spot?
It still happens all the time. My very first one, which is a weird one, was Scooby-Doo did a deal with. It's funny. I should remember which. I think it was a Happy Meal, but it might have been like a Wendy's Happy Meal. But it was the bag that the food comes in that I was on, and I was just like, this is really weird and really cool. I still have it. It's like my mom has a box of things like that, but you get it all the time, like the pinch me moments. I mean, I get it with Resident Evil. That's a huge one for me. I had it with the Flash. I had, like, it's just, the kid inside you is just like, this is really cool. And I think it's important to realize how cool it is, because it isn't normal, and it shouldn't feel normal.
Yeah, no, they're all kinds of them, right? Like there really are, and it doesn't ever really go away. If it goes away, you should start doing something else. Like during the early part of the pandemic, when Code 8 moved over to Netflix, I just remember, like, I'm on my computer and I'm like trying to find something on Netflix, and then all of a sudden Code 8's #1 in the top 10, and you're like, oh yeah. So it should never stop. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, hopefully it never stops.
Now, with your likenesses on so many things, is it weird to have like a shrine to yourself at home? Like, do you have an area where you just keep your action figures and your paintings?
There's no shrines at home, because if I had to look at a shrine, I'd remember that they don't pay us for those ever, like at all, even a bit. I think that one time they tried to give me like a check for $40, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think so.
Oh man! So make your own action figures. Don't buy them in the store. That's what we take away today. Okay, where's my mic guy? Okay, we feel like hands up on the questions. Okay, we've got. Let's maybe like go to that back corner. We haven't been in that back corner yet. Anyone have a question? There's a couple hands there. There you're waving. Let's go to right there. Keep going. There you go. There you go. Great. So efficient.
I have a question for Robbie. These are my sisters. We all love you in the Babysitter movies on Netflix. What was it like to film your death by tube scene in the second movie?
Freezing. It was awesome. The director, his name's McGee. He's done everything. He started in music videos, massive music videos with the biggest people. And then he did a Terminator movie and Charlie's Angels movies. And he's got a great attitude. And it was his project. He loved it. It was like his baby. And he produced the DUFF. And while we were on set of the DUFF, he's like, I want you to come do this movie with me called The Babysitter. And I was like, great, I'm in. And he's like, do you want to know what it's about? I'm like, no, I'll do it. And he's like, okay. And then he sent me the script, and I was like, oh my God. But it's really fun. Like Steve said, it's fun to play a bad guy sometimes. And the movie is so out there and weird and totally different than, the first one, totally different than what you think it's going to be for the first 25 minutes. The cast was awesome. It was really fun to get to have this weird, like, mentor relationship with the young kid in it, even though I'm trying to murder him. And in the second one, the tubing thing, they actually put me on the back of the boat, like on the tube, and whipped it around this lake in the middle of the night, and I couldn't have a life jacket on because it didn't make any sense for the scene. So they were like, okay, we're going to give you a glow stick. And I was like, well, why? Does it float? And they're like, no, if you fall off, just hold it in the air and we'll come pick you up. And I was like, this is my safety apparatus. And of course, I got whipped off the tube in one of the scenes because we're flying. And sure enough, I'm laying in the water with a glow stick, just waiting for somebody to come pick me up. And it is pitch black out there because there is nothing. So there's just a little green thing going like this. But it was a blast. I love those movies. I hope we get to do a third one because it's fun to die over and over again on those. Thanks. I'm glad you liked it.
Okay, is that it? Oh, I thought we had. Okay, I thought we had time for maybe one more, but I guess One more, quick one. Real
One
quick.
more.
You need the mic?
Right in the rock paper scissors for who gets. Oh, okay, never mind. I don't
Okay.
get to pick.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. If you could
Thank
be
you.
any superhero, preferably with powers, which one would you be? Your foot, your leg.
Is your foot asleep from sitting? Any superhero, preferably with powers? What do you think, man?
You're a big Superman fan.
I'm a big Superman fan. I'd be Supergirl, though.
Okay.
Short shorts. Full
Short
circle.
shorts. I just want convenience. I want to be like Convenience Man, and like Superman has that. I want to be able to travel easily, like flying, super speed, anything like that. I just don't want to have to deal with lines and airplanes, and so sure, that. Who can teleport? Is there anybody that can teleport anywhere in the world they want to go? Nightcrawler,
yeah.
kinda. I mean, maybe. The iterations of Nightcrawler, the teleporting's always really bad, and he ends up. Who? Doctor Strange? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Doctor Strange.
You know, it would have been really funny if one of you said Hawkeye. Just saying.
That's messed up.
Just talk about
I mean, we're not going to go down that road. Okay. Give it up one more time, everybody.
Thanks so much, guys.
everybody.
Thank you, Robbie and Stephen Amell.